Hello everybody, welcome along. This is Mainfreight Rugby and coverage of the final round of the round robin play in the Bunnings Heartland Championship. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been having a look at this. This is the points table. And one thing I can tell you is that Thames Valley and South Canterbury, who are both unbeaten at the moment, will play for the Meads Cup final. Not quite sure where, but that's the teams that will play for it. Below that, for the Lahore Cup and the Osborne Shield, who knows? The combinations and permutations are huge. So I'll get Carmo to tell you what they might be.
Yeah, thanks, Mace. Evening. Everyone, hasn't just been an extraordinary season. I know we do have the finals next weekend. Before we get there, we just need to thank everyone involved for getting this remarkable season up and running. The players and coaches clearly have also been well supported, as we've seen year on year. You talked about where the Meads Cup finals still be played. Well, as you said, that is still undecided, but as history will tell us, Mace, it is really important who hosts the final. Third and fourth, well, and fifth and sixth now. There's 5 teams really gunning for those 4 spots, and isn't it wonderful to have the Osborne Shield named in honour, of course, Bill Osborne, All Black number 744, Whanganui player for 10-11 odd season, and also a former New Zealand Rugby Union president. So a great man and a great honour for him and his whānau. So plenty to play for. We can go through all the permutations, but let's just get on to the action. So Mace, take us through what is coming up this week on Mainfreight Rugby.
Well, perhaps the easy answer, Carmo, would be to wind forward to the end of the show, and then we'd show you the results, we'd show you the points table, and you'd know exactly who was playing in the finals next week. But that'd be no fun, would it? Because you're tuned in here to watch the rugby. So let's watch some rugby, shall we? We'll start at Gisborne, where it's been raining, a month's worth of rain in just a couple of days, and that's left Rugby Park completely unplayable, and this is just the car park. But Gisborne Boys High School is good, and the Rectory Ground is ready for action.
We're here in sunny Gisborne for a game against Poverty Bay. We've had a change of venue because apparently Rugby Park's flooded, so we're down at Gisborne Boys High today.
It's a beautiful pasture out here, looks nice and hard, good for some running rugby, hopefully in the wet conditions. So Rob, it's your 50th game today, mate, so what's the prep been like for you this week?
It's just been trying to get the body on the park. Had a few hiccups this season as my body's telling me stop playing, but we got here in the end, and I'd like to thank my wife and daughter for letting me get away this weekend.
Beautiful,
And play rugby.
Awesome.
How about you? How's it being a player instead of a physio now?
Oh yeah, bro, so it's a good transition to get on the physio table rather than putting my hands on the boys on it. It's a real good change of environment, but loving the year we're having, and we're rolling quite well, so hopefully get the ticket today and march on to next week, fingers crossed.
I'm the Tūranga Wickers, looking forward to another good day of footy. Great rugby weather, so we're getting excited. Anyone you want to thank there, Granny?
As you'll see today, we're in our pink strip. It's our wahine day. It's just a big shout out to the women in our lives who are in the background, let us play the rugby that we all love, and yeah, big shout out to them.
Appreciate all you guys. Love you, Mum.
Project Solutions Poverty Bay under their first 5, the maestro Calvin Smith, captain of a team which played its hearts out collectively against the Coast last week. Number 8 Tamanui Hill had a strong game against the Coast, as did the lock forwards Fletcher Scammell and Dan Law. Keanu Taumata, the blindside flanker, the youngster, he was tough, as also was Paurayan Manuel Harmon, both in attack and defence. He was outstanding. He is a cut above. Horowhenua Kapiti, they are captained by Ryan Shelford, a Heartland Rugby legend. He's played 98 games, but his 99th game today represented them with pride always. 58 capman Aaron Lamert is the open side flanker, the fetcher from heaven. He can run, he can support, he can score a good try. Watch 2 for second 5/8. Khan Otwaili, good runner, good finisher. Finally, one more guy to keep an eye out for, number 8. Solid Benedict Grant. Tatu Robertson. Out to the midfield, Kapia. Tato Kapia hit the bottom of the post, grounded the ball. Was he short, Stefan de Stunis? Well, was he short? Try there. Got to go to Tato Kapia. You have to ask yourself a few questions. A, was he short? Can't tell from here. Number 2, did he hit the bottom of the post? He appeared to hit the post. Stefan de Stunis. He paid for his try. That was really strong stuff. So that's 8-0. They're still going forward. Poverty Bay are still going forward. That's Mario Council. Now Calvin Smith with that donkey kick off the outside of the boot. Trying to get back there in defence. I think they may have changed 1 or 2 names on us. And Poverty Bay trying to get close to score, and they have scored. Poverty Bay have scored through Ted Walters. Ted Walters scores for Poverty Bay, who are now on the board. The Nua, they lead now 10-5. Here on the Wet Forget replay now, appropriate. Here he is, Ted Walters, strong in the upper body, and tell you what, a gleam in the eye. He was never going to take no for an answer. 10-8, Horowhenua Company have the ball. Can they strike before half-time? James Higgins grabs there at Bryn Gordon. The Nua up by 2. Horowhenua Company are up by 2. Another good run from Winterburn. Winterburn's been honest. Winterburn's played a good first half. And the Nua get across. Dave McErleen in his 57th appearance for Horowhenua Company. The tight end prop, the scrum anchor, David McErleen. Score now 15-8. David McErleen with a second score. Second try here on Mainfreight Rugby, the Wet Forget replay for Horowhenua Company. He does the hard work. He does his job at core roll time. And there he is rewarded. David McErleen scores a try at the Rectory Ground in his only game here. Conversion is there. 17-8, half-time. Ted Walters to ground, Poverty Bay released. Poverty Bay back to the right, Law there, the hip, the hardest part of the body, into the head of Bryn Gordon. Poverty Bay push ahead. That was a de Stunis. Poverty Bay coming on their right side. Poverty Bay get across, and they have scored, and Poverty Bay has scored a hugely important try. The youngster, Keanu Tomata. And here on the Wet Forget replay, the rain has abated, but only a little. Keanu Tomata with good low body position, with great control, protected the ball and scored. Keanu Tomata, Civil Project Solutions, Poverty Bay. 17 points to 13. Poverty Bay trying to hold them here. That was Benedict Grant. What soldiery, what yeomanry here from the Nua. They don't get to ground. George Whakatope there. McErleen gets across, and the tight end prop's a hero. Horowhenua Company tight end prop. David McErleen, in his 57th game for the Nua, has gotten across there, and he brings the house down. Here on the Wet Forget replay, David McErleen, the number 3. That's the first double that he scored for the Nua. Toru Noa going ahead again. The danger man here is Jared Broughton. Jared Broughton gets close. Powerful stuff from Jared Broughton. Poverty Bay have the ball on the ground. Poverty Bay, it's getting scrappy. That was Law. Poverty Bay down by 15, needing to score. Poverty Bay need to score. Iron Manuel Harmon will score, and Poverty Bay score here. And Poverty Bay get it to 10. Here on the Wet Forget replay, Poverty Bay with great hands. Superb execution. Iron Manuel Harmon did what he needed to do, and quickly. 30-20. We're in the 72nd minute. Poverty Bay brought it down. I think it was Fletcher Scammell. That's the big guy. Giant among giants, Jared Broughton. Whakatope, oh no, Calvin Smith running hard there into Shelford. They'll have a laugh about that after. The game is over, I got you earlier. Loose ball, oh what a bounce! If you can call it a bounce, and Andrew Tautavalu with an incredible try here for Poverty Bay. Their never say die attitude. Unbreakable spirit there, Andrew Tautavalu. He came from nowhere. And here on the Wet Forget replay, Andrew Tautavalu. It was all or nothing. You do or you do not. There is no try. And Andrew Tautavalu there. I'm speechless. I can't believe it. Poverty Bay's Jared Broughton now with a shoulder. Jared Broughton got close, but he didn't get there. Poverty Bay have the ball again. Poverty Bay come again, Mario Council. Knocked to the floor, got up. Poverty Bay driving. That's Cameron there. Cameron trying to hold him up. Poverty Bay with the ball on the floor, it's a ruck. Mario Council. Council goes now, and Poverty Bay has scored. Mario Council has come through for Poverty Bay with one of the great tries scored by a halfback, and that is amazing. Here on the Wet and Forget replay, Poverty Bay kept coming. They came again, and they came again, and Mario Council on the right side. Incredible courage. Mario Council is a hero for the men in scarlet as they win here at Rugby Park, or rather at the Rectory. I can't believe it. I'm shaking in my chair. I've lost the plot. And Poverty Bay have won this game. Poverty Bay have come through 34 points to 33 with an incredible win.
We really appreciate everyone in our community, and we really appreciate our wives, our partners that let us play. And yeah, it's about being here and being here for the Jersey, so we love it.
Your people played their hearts out. They thoroughly deserve to win.
Yeah, I'm speechless, you know. We went right to the 83rd minute, as you could see out there, and the boys never gave up. And we've been saying it all season. We feel like we are 7-1 like team. We probably should be 7 wins, but a few losses that haven't come our way. Today we got in the trenches and we dug our way out of that scoreboard, I guess. Yeah, I'm very proud of the boys.
Mid-Canterbury take their final game of the season to Methven, and it's an interesting day for the MC Hammers. They're in that logjam where they could end up in the Lahore Cup, they could end up in the Osborne Shield, or they could end up with nothing at all.
Yeah, g'day guys, Thor Manawatu here from the Reefing Club in Bulla. Here on a beautiful day in Methven, sun's out, a little bit of breeze. With me I got a debutant, Sam Jope. How you going, Sam?
Great, thanks. Yeah, my name's Sam, play for the White Star Club in Bulla, and yeah, as Thor said, outstanding day out here in Methven. Really looking forward to the game.
So you run the roadworks in the Bulla Gorge, mate. Is it true that you just down your tools and left all the lights on red for the weekend?
Yeah, pretty much. So the boys were coming through the Bulla Gorge, and I hopped straight on the bus and I was out of there with them. Left the fellas there, so it was lovely. Early knock for a Friday, you can't really beat that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about in this. You work all week and then catch the bus from one side of the island to the other. Here come the teams onto the field. I say Leo Whanganui playing his 50th game for Bulla today, leading his team out. Manawatu with the feed, and all good scrum from Mid-Canterbury. Wins the penalty in a very kickable position. Gee, that's a strong scrum, isn't it? Tom Reiki, who's already brought up 50 points for the season, adds 3 more to his tally and gets Mid-Canterbury onto the board. Gee, it's a lovely ground, this, the Methven Domain. The kids we saw playing cricket earlier in the day just over behind us. And this field looks like you could play cricket on it immediately. Manawatu, and again a very good scrum from Mid-Canterbury. And try coming here. This is Michael Hennings. We'll have to look on the Wet and Forget replay, but I think he just simply got in the way of the transfer between number 8 and halfback and intercepted the ball. Very good scrum again from Mid-Canterbury. Bulla scrums all over the place. And here comes Hennings. You just see him in the background there. Excellent scrum indeed from Mid-Canterbury, and 2 good scrums have resulted in points for the team. Tap and go quickly does Kore Tamana. Looks out wide, finds some space out here. Vasu Rakutero's dropped it. This gives Bulla a chance to set something. Titai out to Norton Taylor, drop kick. And you don't see it too often, but it gets Bulla within 5 at the break. And that's a good result for Bulla. Mid-Canterbury lead at half-time on a lovely day in Methven. Bit of width here for Mid-Canterbury. Coming in on the crash is McCloy. Ran into some solid defence. McCormick feeds it out to Ware Shepherd. goes close. An inside pass, centre Corey Tamana. He just keeps scoring tries, this man. That's his 9th of the season, and a lovely little back flip from Liam McCormick, the halfback. He was running one way, reverse pass the other. We'll see it here on the wet and forget replay. Look at number 9, picks up the ball and then just flicks it behind him. Corey Tamana on the move, too big, too strong from that sort of a range, and he scores again. McCormick feeds it out wide. MacArthur's involved. Blythe. Very close goes Bari. Blythe again, looking for runners. Just got to pick out the right one. Picks out Corey Tamana. He's gone in for another one. Well, you just can't beat this man. That's his 10th. Nobody else is even close. Look here. Blythe on the replay. I thought that he was going in there, actually, to be quite honest. Bari. But then the balls come straight out of the ruck. And Corey Tamana. One-on-one, he's just about unstoppable. Time up on the board. The conversion is over. And at 22 points to 3, Mid-Canterbury have done all they can to keep their season going.
Well, Captain Anthony Ellis, what do you think of that?
Gutsy performance from us, to be honest. I think Mid-Canterbury needed a bonus point to jump up into the Lahore, but yeah, proud of my boys for, you know, it's our last game for the season, so we come here to try and get our first win of the season. Didn't get it, but we've definitely put on a performance that we can be proud of.
That was a pretty tough battle, JJ.
It was. We knew obviously their last round robin game, so they're coming in for everything. We didn't help ourselves with some of the loose play and things. Just need to stick to structure. So.
It was a very spirited performance from Buller. I mean, they had nothing to play for, but they've got that pride over there that they seem to have, and they were waiting for you every time.
Yeah, no, they were ready to go. They played the 80, put pressure on us, and as I say, turnovers, loose pill, breaking it out, and we didn't help ourselves as well. So I think we really got to step up.
Yeah.
Plenty of action still to come on Mainfreight Rugby. We take you to Greymouth, to Oamaru, to a great occasion in Marston, and then 2 big heavyweights square off at Boyd Park before we find out who is this week's Mainfreight True Blue.
Mainfreight Rugby.
You're back with Mainfreight Rugby, and we recognise our sponsors, Mainfreight of course, but also still Isuzu D-Max and Wet and Forget. And we get support from New Zealand Rugby and from Sky Sport, and they've brought us to the west coast of the South Island, where the Tasman Sea is rattling the shingle on the beach. But just inland, John Sturgeon Park, where West Coast will host the unbeaten, table-topping South Canterbury.
Welcome to John Sturgeon Park on a balmy spring afternoon here in the final round of the Bunnings Heartland Championship. Of course, South Canterbury on a dream run this season, having won all 7 games. I know they'll be wanting to preserve their unbeaten record, but West Coast has a tremendously competitive provincial thing going with them, and the games they've had in the last few years have been extremely close, having beaten them in South Canterbury a couple of years ago to get to the final of the Lahore Cup here. And I'm expecting a fast-flowing game here. Ground's in magnificent order, and here's to possibly another West Coast win, but all the same, well done to South Canterbury on 7 wins this season.
They're having a sensational season, South Canterbury. This is the game that will decide whether or not they host the Meads Cup final. Here's Jim Finlay with the match called.
Out it comes to Glenn. Glenn across. Who's going to take it now? Going back for the ball. The other lock forward there, Lavaka. Lost a bit of ground there, South Canterbury, but now Davidson's got it. In control. Out it comes to Kakala. Kakala stands up and bursts into the tackle there. Getting close now, South Canterbury. Hard on attack here. Davidson in control, looking for it, scratching, digging. Now it comes across to the fullback, Glenn. Now he pops it up to the big prop forward there. Oh, that's going to be a good one on the Wet and Forget replay on Thursday night. Yeah, the prop forward, Varka Toilega, the South Canterbury #1, and he goes in right under the horn. So the first point's on the board after a good build-up, good quick ball, and a good burst through by Cam Russell, and feeds the ball up to his prop forward there, Varka Toilega. And scores right between the dots. 15 in from touch, and Taufree with the ball. And it goes. Lee BZ takes it beautifully. Now they stand him up forward, and the forwards gather on and drive it here now, West Coast. Now they're making a bit of ground here, moving it up towards the try line here. Still going Coast, still going close. They're looking for the line here now. Must be very nearly clear. Now they're going over at the referee, looking and looking and looking and looking as he heads down. They go to the ball. The try's been scored. Ethan Simpson, will give it to him, I think. He came up with the ball here for West Coast. They worked and worked and worked their way forward. The referee on his hands and knees. And so a good try by West Coast with about 12 to go till half-time. But it's a bit slow coming. He decides to kick. He was always going to get that charge there. Now it comes across to Soper. Soper out it comes to Logan Winter running like a back over there. Winter up over the halfway line. Lays it back in one hand nicely. Logan Winter there. Ferguson out it comes to McRae. Jesse McRae. Up he goes there. Beautiful tackle over there by Saiui Kalaka. Oh, now who's got the ball? Oh, been intercepted by away he goes. Number 14. Sorelli, Bully Rua. Oh, they won't catch him. If he don't stop short, he'll end up in Hokitika. He puts it down to the left of the goalpost. In from touch there. Oh, that was unfortunate. It popped up, and once it got into those hands of Sorelli, Bully Rua, it was going to be a try all the way. But he's a try-scoring machine. It's 15 points to 7 now, 15 to 7. Very warm out there. In it goes, held at the back there by Kakala. Now he can see it now. Davidson goes in, takes it across now. Out it goes to right, feeds it up now. Being intercepted by Jacob Lowe. Jacob Lowe's paid Louis Tagaga back, and Jacob Lowe goes under the post for West Coast. Wow, just have a look at that one on Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen. The South Canterbury were a wee bit unfuzzled there. The fullback, Luke Glenn, was up. Passed it out, didn't seem to go anywhere, but Jacob Lowe, of course, he's got more wheels than a Roman sandal, and he pounced on it, and never in doubt, and he goes in under the post for West Coast. Well, that's going to make it interesting with half-time only 6 minutes away. Reaches in and grabs it. Out it comes on his right to right. Out it comes to the second 5'8" there, James Hawkeye. He takes it into the thing there. Now it comes up to Bryce here. Good tackle over there by Soper. Now it comes into the captain, Strachan. He's up towards the goal line. He goes 5 metres away here. South Canterbury still going. South Canterbury here. Digging in for the ball is Davidson. Short ball up to Bryce. Bryce is reaching out. He's short of the line, is he? No, he's not. Good referee. He's wanted the try. Yep, they're massive lines here in rugby in John Sturgeon Park. You'll see it on the wet and forget. Just what West Coast wouldn't have wanted. A try to number 5, Henry Bryce. And he comes right. Charging at him too, but it doesn't make any difference, and the flags go up. So that's half-time here at John Sturgeon Park here in Greymouth, with South Canterbury with a try right on the tick of the clock in front by 22 points to 14. Picked up there by Junior. Looked a bit forward, that ball, but Lavaka's got it, the other lock forward. He throws a long pass out to Willie Wright. Willie Wright puts it out to Hawkeye. Hawkeye throws it over the top to Bully Rua. Now they've got it again to the left. Out it comes, long pass going nowhere. Picked up that time by Cam Russell. He's still going, Cam Russell. Still going, Cam Russell. Still going, Cam Russell. And he puts the ball down and scores to the right of the post. Well, scrappy play inside. He pushed off one, he pushed off two, went one way, then the other. And showed a good turn of pace, the loose forward for South Canterbury, Cam Russell, and puts it down just to the right of the post. So, South Canterbury back in control just after half-time. To the try to Cam Russell. Paul Wynn goes to the ball there, but he's going nowhere. Runs around in circles. One of the new players just come on, I think, and pick his number up. Now it comes to 5 feeter. 5 feeter, long pass out to Leah Tagaga. Leah Tagaga cuts back inside, still going. Leah Tagaga. Crampton got him in a tackle there. Otherwise, he was under. Right, out it comes to Lavaka. Lavaka's over there, feeds it out. South Canterbury all the ball, I tell you now. In it comes, running hard, straight onto the ball is number 19. Can just come onto the paddock. John Borland for South Canterbury. Now he goes onto the ground with it. Still in control, metres out here. Inside pass, the try. Inside pass there to Lea Tagaga, the try for South Canterbury. Well, it was going to happen. The build-up, retain the possession. And the gap's open, the in pass there from number 19 Borland into Calavini, Lea Tagaga. Well, he's been threatening all day, wanting to get in the action. Prominent try-scoring machine, I'd say, for South Canterbury. Ferguson defeated. Good scrum here too. No, they've got it. West Coast under control here. Out it comes to Garland's on now. Smith, Isaac Smith, Smith there. Beautiful ball over the top, taken by Fafita. Picked up here by South Canterbury. Picked up there by the centre three-quarter. Zach Mackay. Mackay's got it away. Got it away over there to Bully Ruarua. They won't stop him. Bully Ruarua scores in the corner. Good try over there. Good play, broken play over there once again. South Canterbury pounced on it and Bully Ruarua grabbed the ball. Sarali, Bully Ruarua, he goes in all over the place. South Canterbury got all the possession here at the moment. Another great try there by Bully Ruarua. Won't be the last one he'll score in his career, I can assure you. Good run by Takana. Out it comes now. Quick one taken out to Trent Lawn. Lawn's got it. Goes for a bit of a run up there. He's 4 metres away now. Still going to the left there. Ethan Smith takes the ball. Close he goes. Only feet away. Jackman feeds it out now to Elliot Smith. Elliot Smith reaches the tries and scores. Yep, good play by the West Coast there. Quick ball retention there in number 12. Elliot Smith. The try for West Coast. Good effort, good build-up. They will make the turn their bloody territory into points there. Good play. Late in the day by the West Coast side. Sean McClure comes in, looks it down. It's coming up towards the post, but I think he's pushed it wide, and he has. And the referee blows the whistle for full time. Well, it's been an entertaining game, if not a bit one-sided towards the end in the second half. South Canterbury have run out the winners here this afternoon at John Sturgeon Park by 46 points to 19.
Great performance today. You must be very proud of the boys, 8 wins in a row.
Yeah, no, we're trucking on really well. You know, it was a bit of a tough game today, obviously knowing we're going to be in a final next week. Today was a real test of our mental strength. I thought, you know, West Coast threw a lot at us for 50, 55 minutes there, and once we got our sort of noses in front, a bit of daylight there, we really finished the job off well.
Oamaru, where North Otago will host King Country. North Otago in that logjam in the Lahore Cup and Osborne Shield range. A really good win here, and they could just get through to the Lahore Cup final. It's not impossible.
Whitestone Contracting Stadium, North Otago led out by Malakasua Kalanisau in his 50th match. And here come the visitors, King Country, and their goal will be simple today, and that's to post their first win of the season. Offloads it to Jansen. Jansen drives low and hard but can't get there. Then they entrust the backs again. Well, when I say the backs, Fanaki's joined in on the fun. Still they can't get over the line. King Country will be very proud of what they're able to achieve. Oh, that was brilliant. Todd will cross over and score. But the play on the ground, we thought the ball was lost forward. There will be some consultation to confirm. But Todd will come up as the try scorer, and the referee is content that the ball was caught cleanly in the wet and forget replay. You can see there why King Country thought there may have been a knock-on. It's been denied. Hayden Todd scores for North Otago after 21 minutes, 5-0 here prior to the kick. Majalago strike rate pretty impressive, and it's not an easy day to kick into the wind. I don't care how close to the post you are. Keeps it low but pushes it wide, so 5-0 remains the score. It is half-time here, Whitestone Contracting Stadium. Well, a match that hasn't risen to great heights so far. He chance for Jensen. He has been so close, Jensen, on so many occasions, not able to get over the line yet again. Matthews, little inside pass, pop pass. King Country are on to that. Trying everything, North Otago. Emery stepping over. And Levi Emery has done the job. He's a hard man to stop at the best of times, but 10 metres out for the line. No chance for King Country. They defended manfully under their crossbar, but when the ball spread out wide in the wet and forget replay, you can see Levi Emery there. Still a little bit of work to do, and to step on the inside and burrow underneath the tacklers to get over and score their second of the afternoon. King Country showing some determination. Tufala. Oh, the layoff was absolutely outstanding, and so was the try. Fabulous try by King Country. They found some space on the outside. The defenders were nowhere to be seen. And a terrific support play by Levison Gower. He come up trumps, but boy, there was some clever play inside him. The wet and forget replay confirms how he was out in space on his own and absolutely thrilled about scoring a try here. He made a good job of it. Ben Patton is the only player left on the bench to come on. He will get his time in the sun, and there's plenty of that this afternoon. As Einarsson, for the umpteenth time today, presented beautiful ball. Oh, very close to the line, over it. All came down to a perfect line out for North Otago. Try number 3. And in the wet and forget replay, you can see how Einarsson got high, secured the ball, and was able to squeeze it out. And Telfer able to peel away and use his bulk to barge over. North Otago feel a lot better now, having got those 5 points back they recently conceded. Well, Hayden Todd makes good progress yet again. The ball comes out eventually, and then up from nowhere is Levi Emery. Look at the break by the young fullback. He looks left, looks right, finds support on the right-hand side. Ben Patton just on the field will get the last touch. He'll get the try. What a beautifully executed try set up by the number 15. In the wet and forget replay, you can see the influence that Emery is having on this match. His timing is perfect. His incision was well judged, and he looked for the support on the outside, and Patton did the rest. Hayden Todd just goes straight, gets very close. If not over the line, he's getting a lot of help and assistance. There's the short pass, there's the try. Yeah, it was done with precision as Todd pushed forward, and then the ball popped out at an alarming rate, picked up and diving over. The wet and forget replay will confirm North Otago's most recent try, and it was a good one, and it'll be an easy conversion. We'll make it go back in charge on the kicking tee, and 7 points assured. And that is that. The end of the road for King Country. North Otago move on where we don't know. Second half much more convincing than the first, and they run out winners here today over King Country by 36 points to 5. Sam, I'm going to use a four-letter word, ugly in that first half, but things got a lot better in the second.
Yeah, when you're a front row and you go to 4 scrums in a row, you start to get sick of it. But it was ugly, but we got the attitude, the execution better in the second half, and put the points on the board, so happy.
A bit difficult in these conditions, it's a very fickle wind.
Yeah, typical coastal environment, I suppose. Yeah, we used it better in the second half, didn't we, and played in their end and put them under pressure, and they couldn't exit out of that because of the wind, so went to our strength, I suppose, yeah.
The wet weather that's up and down the east coast of the North Island has not missed Masterton. It is forecast to clear, however, as the day goes on. So hopefully that's true, because these blokes have driven all the way down from the coast in this rain. They'll really be hoping that the clearance comes.
Kia ora koutou katoa, and welcome to Trust House Memorial Park for this afternoon's final round of the Bunnings Heartland Championship. It is the Ferries, Wairarapa Bush and Ngāti Porou East Coast. Both sides are going to go hammer and tongs to finish the season on a high. Looking forward to seeing Ma'anonu in Juicy 12 for Ngāti Porou East Coast, and Rico Gear as well, named off the bench. Looking forward to seeing the koro out there this afternoon.
Well, it's been a feel-good season for East Coast. They've won a couple of games and they just seem to be going well and on the rise. Wairarapa Bush, on the other hand, they've had a very similar season, 2 wins, but they just don't feel so well for them. First line-out win of the day for East Coast, and it's going well. This is a great drive towards the line. Here comes Tangare, and over he goes. For his 3rd try of the season, the hooker, Jorian Tangare. Excellent line-out drive, well put together by East Coast from a line-out take at the back. Oh, they've won one against the throw. Now, this is the area where you find East Coast are pretty dangerous. Nonu marshalling things in midfield. Good pass that out to Poltai. Poltai, ball's knocked down. It's done very well to pick that up as Stewart. And in goes Sam Parks for a try. Gee, scored some tries this year, just drifting up in that halfback support line in the middle of the field. And that was an excellent put-together try from the back line of East Coast. Good ball at the back of the line out from the captain. Lovely ball from Nonu, sets Te Moana on the crash. Now, this is good running play. Fraser with the slight delay and the over-the-top pass. The captain, Horowhenua. Whoa, he's put the hammer down. And that'll be a very popular try for a very popular leader of a very popular team. We're only a quarter of the way through the game, and already they're 3 tries up. See the crowd having a few words about a little bit of off-the-ball play during that. Wairarapa Bush desperately want to get back into this game, and they've decided to let the big boys have a crack. This is an area of the ground where Lewis Bush has scored an awful lot of tries in the last few weeks, but he's not playing today. So the rest of the big fellas are on the pick up and go, and they're getting closer and closer every time they pick it up. In fact, they're getting so close they're over, and it's not Lewis Bush, but it's his replacement, Tupu Le'aimanu. Le'aimanu goes in for the try from about 1.5 foot out. Haira with the conversion takes us to half-time with Ngāti Porou East Coast up by 19 points to 7 over the home side Wairarapa Bush. And they've looked pretty good in doing it as well, I might say. Home side making some ground, Pakoti. Referee playing an advantage for a knock-on. This is a great opportunity for a free dab for East Coast. Stewart, his pass is knocked down, but McGarvey Black gets hold of it, puts the hammers down, kick ahead. Now it's a straight foot pace between McGarvey Black and Tuffa, and the East Coaster wins it. McGarvey Black with some real speed down the left wing side there has scored, and we're only a few minutes in to the second half. Great effort from McGarvey Black. It's been a really enjoyable game, this. We've seen some terrific tries, some great battles up front. I've been enjoying it. Now Wairarapa Bush, their chance to get into it. Bracewell. Referee finds a man diving over there, and boom, was he back 10 metres. Not sure he was. Tuffa's gone in for the try. The referee is going to have a little meeting with anybody else who might be able to help him. Oh, there's Inia Katia coming. He may well have been 10 metres back, you know. He was back at that yellow line for sure. All of the blue jerseys are standing still, waving their arms. The green jerseys kept running, and the try has been awarded to Tuffa of Wairarapa Bush. The wisdom of Wairarapa Bush rugby gathered around. Good win at the back of the line out to Nell. They put a drive together. This looks like it's angling towards the touchline. No, they've straightened it up. The ball's got its way towards the back. Now it's angling towards the touchline again, and someone's over. I think that might be Matt Marsoi, the big tall man. Yes, it is. Matt Marsoi, the replacement forward. The man from Vasti in Manawatu goes across from a well-constructed line-out drive from close to the line. And Wairarapa Bush have another try. Oh, good hands out wide to Potai. Parks barking out orders. He's got a big pot of forwards out here, plays it to them. They get taken down at the 5. Parks again, good quick ball. And a huge long pass to Stewart. Oh, there's a try. There is a beautiful try. Made by the lovely pass from Sam Parks, and Stewart was outside his man and in under the post. Really good try to seal it for East Coast. Man, they'll be happy with that. And now with the conversion, the super sub, Rico Gear. Oh, he's made an awful mess of it. Rico Gear had the opportunity to kick the conversion, but he shanked it dreadfully. But nonetheless, East Coast have come through with their 3rd victory of the season by 34-19.
Yeah, stoked with the performance, and to end the year on that, it's just, lost for words really for the boys to put out a performance like that. We've had a gutsy year, we've turned it around, and we just hope that that's enough to give back to our people back home.
One last game of pool play for 2021, and that says 2 take on 3. The winner will take momentum into next week. The loser will have to rebuild. And who is this week's Mainfreight True Blue?
Mainfreight Rugby.
Back with Mainfreight Rugby, and one thing that we know is that Thames Valley will play in the Meads Cup final. What we don't know is whether Whanganui will host the Lahore Cup final. That will be sorted today here at Boyd Park in Te Araha.
Good afternoon, here from Boyd Park. My name is Jason Hamlin, assistant coach for Whanganui Steelformers, and with me I have Tarangatira Waitokia and Jamie Hughes. Tarangatira is playing his 15th Blazer game today, and Jamie will be playing his 50th game for the province. Boys, nice hot day. How are we feeling today?
Yeah, good, bro, good. Good day for running footy. Like you said, nice and dry, nice and warm. Should be a good game out there today. Yeah.
Matt, Jamie is a man of few words, but we're going to ask him for a few words here. Just, I guess, what it means for Jamie Hughes to play his 50th game for Whanganui, bro.
Means a lot. My grandfathers and that sort of pushed me towards playing rugby, so just carrying it on and trying to get to that 50 for them is the goal.
Any last words, boys?
No, good luck, Jamie. Go hard, bro. Congrats on the 50.
T-arms.
Kia ora.
Historically, Whanganui have been one of the superstar teams of the Heartland Championship, but Thames Valley are rapidly chasing them. Here they are, the Swamp Foxes, and here he is, Jake O'Flaherty.
Now Jamie Hughes runs it forward in his 50th match for Whanganui here today. What an occasion for him, and congratulations. Really an amazing feat. He has the ball again. Oh, he'll score the opener. Jamie Hughes. Right when you're talking about his contribution to Whanganui, he contributes a try. Van der Valk gets it away to Dromgoole, and a quick pass to Sione Vakapuna Etoni, who's going up the park. Fred the Needle. No look pass to Joe Cook. He's got Te Rangatira Waitokia running around. He can't get him. And Joe Cook scores. Look at him. He's pumped up, and that's the reply they need. Horrocks. To Whale, and now Waitokia gets the coat hanger tackle from Fred the Needle. And that's not good. The advantage is there. Still going Whanganui, and close to the line. Well, you see the man up in the Chiefs jersey, the top of the frame. He's not happy. He's a bit worried because he can sense that Whanganui may well be on the precipice of scoring. Horrocks goes to Whale. He's got Kuriambaki. If he can catch this, he'll score. He will. Kamili Kuriambaki puts Whanganui back in front in this match. And a vital try in the makeup of this match. Robinson can't get it over. And it's half-time here at Boyd Park. 18 points to 16. And the kids are loving it. They're loving a bit of lollies from the canteen and so forth. And they're ready for the second half. So in it comes. And Sam Van der Valk takes it off the back. He'll score. Sam Van der Valk. and they equalise the score. In the first moment of this second half, the Valley have strike back, and Mrs. Tupou's having a great time on the sideline. As Thames Valley are back in it. Horrocks to Whale, he goes himself, Dane Whale. Met in a good tackle by Van der Valk and Newbold, but they're still going here, Whanganui. And they'll likely score, they will. Te Rangatira Waitokia scores the try for Whanganui. Right in the corner, and well, they're starting to really get their mitts on this game, Whanganui. And Waitokia in his Blazer game scores. Horrocks goes on the charge to Serawalu, Timothy Serawalu, one of the veterans of this team. Whale gets it across to Clare, and oh, well, a potential Shepherd, but no way, Jose, says the referee, and it's a try to Craig Clare. What a big moment, but you've got to play to the whistle, and Clare will score. Leroy Neals, in and out, and it goes to Doolan. Vakapuna Etoni runs it forward. And now, the advantage is coming here for Thames Valley. And Hammerpool goes off to Will Newbold. He gives the jink and jive, but they'll come back for the penalty here, Thames Valley. Right in front of the sticks. And so Todd Doolan will aim to put it up and through. And he does so, says the assistants. And it's full time here at Boyd Park in Thames Valley. They suffer their very first defeat of the season at the hands of the old foes in Whanganui.
Well done, Campbell. What a great game to watch, and very physical. Yeah. Bit of niggle, but that's all right. And preparing for next week in your final, and of course the Valley boys. Always going to be a bit of a niggle, but you guys played exceptionally well.
Yeah, I guess it was a bit of an old school sort of heartland battle in terms of the niggle, and we just wanted to make sure we gave them nothing and didn't give them an easy ride, and we're sort of happy with how that side of it went. So it was a good, tough game in this tough heat. Yeah.
So confirming those results, Mid-Canterbury winning in Metford, South Canterbury bagging all 5 points versus West Coast. North Otago is far too good for King Country, and what a thriller that was in Gisborne. Poverty Bay winning that one 34-33. Thames Valley went down at Boyd Park, and Ngāti East Coast with their third win of the year, winning 29-19 over Wairarapa Bush. So we can now confirm the standings and the games for next week. South Canterbury, with a maximum 40 points from their 8 games, fantastic, will host the Meads Cup final versus Thames Valley. Whanganui had a great late run, will be host of the Lahore Cup final versus North Otago, and new this year, the Osborne Shield in recognition of Bill Osborne, the former All Black. Poverty Bay will be the host there versus Mid-Canterbury. That's your top 6. You go more in-depth into the Heartland Championship, going to allblacks.com and clicking on the Heartland tag.
This week's Mainfreight True Blue comes from the sports media from North Otago, where Terry O'Neill has been reporting on and commentating on rugby since 1971.
Well, Terry, congratulations. 50 years in the rugby media for this area. What a wonderful achievement.
Well, I don't know. It just seems like, what am I doing? 50 years and I'm back here at rugby, is it? But no, I just... my mum, one dad and my mum loved rugby. We had 5 boys in our family. Three of them played first-class rugby, and it was part in the blood.
How did you make the transition from a player to a journo?
Well, you didn't have to make it because someone just went tapped in the cold. So you're assistant coach this season. Away you go. Yeah, you didn't say, "Will you please?" No, they said, "You are." Yeah, and so you're part of your club, and you just get involved. And there's multitudes of players do the same thing every season, and I'm not out of the ordinary whatsoever. All right.
What are you going to do now that you're retired?
Well, I'm just looking where my wife is. She'll probably tell me shortly. Yeah. No. I'll be here on Saturday afternoons as many as I can. But it's just a thing that people have. Some people play golf. I play golf. I play rugby.
Rugby News this month has an article on the Wairarapa Bush 50th Jubilee. It was supposed to be this year, but they postponed celebrations to next year in the hope that we'll be able to hold them. Wairarapa Bush, the inaugural winners of the Meads Cup. And here are the Meads Cup finalists for this year. You know, there were times this season when I didn't think we'd get this far. I honestly didn't. But a lot of hard work, a little bit of luck, a lot of patience, and here we are with the Meads Cup, Lahore Cup and Osborne Shield finals. Now, if the shows looked and sounded a little different to normal, well, that's because it is, because you see I'm locked down here. Carmo's locked down 5 or 6 kilometres in that direction. Kevin, the editor, he's about 15k over there. Ethan, the sound engineer, he's in the same direction, but a little bit closer. And the producer, Denise, she's about 25k that away. Thank goodness for the internet. It's allowed us to bring you the whole season of Mainfreight Rugby.
Mainfreight Rugby.